Welcome to the finals of the StarCityGames.com Dallas Open Weekend. Cedric Phillips, Patrick Sullivan, we are here in the booth to bring you our final match of the weekend. On your left, it's Kevin King, Jonathan Rosum, and Julian John. Three names you're probably familiar with here on the SCG Tour, playing lands, humans, and Marty vehicles against some Texas locals that have certainly made a name for themselves this weekend in Kyle Finken, Michael Cortez, and Andres Campion, TurboDepths, Fant Company, and Green-Black Constrictor. For Kevin King, he's going to start things off with a Mox Diamond, discarding a Windswept Heath into a Ghost Quarter. Thoughtseize will target Kevin. He'll lose his Life in the Loam. Oh darn. He's got a Tranquil Thicket, a Dark Depths, and a Wooded Foothills in hand. So it's actually a pretty good start here for Kevin because the Ghost Quarter is going to protect him a little bit around the Dark Depths.
And a fairly fast draw himself. If he finds Thespian Stage, he could get this over with very quickly.
Indeed he can. Tranquil Thicket will be cycled, and Life in the Loam will be dredged. So a Grove of the Burn Willows, a Thespian Stage, and a Taiga will go to the graveyard. Draw step here for Kevin King. Didn't get a great look. Actually, it's a Molten Vortex that he drew. Not a particularly relevant card in this matchup. So we'll see if King wants to go loaming right now or not. He will start by sacrificing a Wooded Foothills. Kevin's going to fall down to 19. You see Kyle Finken's life total 18, given the Thoughtseize.
Keep in mind that King has to be a little bit careful about how he sets up shop here because he's playing against Pithy Needles, and Finken can win. Even if Needle is on Thespian Stage, he has Vampire, Hexmage, plus Dark Depths to combo out.
Time to loam. A couple lands going to come back here, of course. Thespian Stage is certainly going to be one of them. We'll see what the others will be, however. Looks like a Taiga and a Fetch as we go back over to Kyle. That'll be a Pithing Needle. Main deck, mind you. We'll see exactly what Kyle's naming with that Pithing Needle. He's going to name Ghost Quarter. Kyle will play a Thespian Stage and simply pass the turn back. Kevin's got the opportunity to dredge here if he'd like, and he will. So 3 cards go to the graveyard. Rashad Port is 1. Punishing Fire is 2. Crop Rotation is 3.
And Kevin King could really use a cheat here, something like Exploration to get ahead on mana. Even though he's got all the pieces, I think one land drop a turn might be too slow.
For this deck, not trying to play an honest game of Magic, not trying to play just one land per turn. It can, but it's not its favorite thing to do. Is there's a copy of Molten Vortex. Thespian Stage was the land drop for the turn there for King, by the way. Verdant Catacombs into Expedition Map. Thinking much slower game for his Turbo Depths deck, which can make a 20/20 as soon as turn number 2 if the draw cooperates. Not this go around, as he's definitely slow playing some things here. Back to Kevin King we're going to go. Looks like he just drew a card for the turn. Taiga plus Loam. He'll get back Rashad Port, Wooded Foothills, and Grove of the Burn Willows. And he will just pass the turn back. Verdant Catacombs will be sacrificed here by Kyle Finken. He'll search up a land, fall down to, I believe, 17 in the process. And he'll get himself a Bayou. Quick update here for you. Julian John with Mardu Vehicles, game number 1 here over Andres Campion. So Mardu Vehicles very quickly up a game here over Green-Black Constrictor. Looks like a Ghost Quarter searched up here by Kyle Finken with the Expedition Map. He's got some interesting one-ofs in his deck because he has Sylvan Scrying and Expedition Map, and also has Crop Rotation. So you'll find Ghost Quarter, Bajuka Bog, and you got it, Sajiri Step. An oldie but a goodie. Here is Sylvan Scrying. And the turbo nature of his deck has been unveiled a little bit. This deck does play cards like Elvish Spirit Guide and Lotus Petal, so it's trying to go fast, as there's another copy of Thespian Stage. May not look like it's going fast this particular game, but it has the ability, as I mentioned, to make a 20-20 on the second turn of the game.
Sylvan Safekeeper.
Got to protect it somehow.
No, I just...
It's Ali Rad's invitational card many moons ago. Back to Kevin King we'll go. There's a Mox Diamond. He'll discard a land here. That was his draw step, of course. He'll discard a Wooded Foothills, play a Rishadan Port. Mana does not appear to be the issue here for Kevin. And we're going to pass it back over to Kyle, the Kansas City Chiefs fan. He'll draw. Looks like he's going to get ported here. And we might have Thespian Sage copying something here in response to the port. And we'll figure out exactly what that is from our table spotter.
Looks like
You're going to turn it into a port. Play a Verdant Catacombs, pass the turn back. 2 Molten Vortex activations means that Kyle's actually probably got to get a move on here.
Yep. I mean, he can Dredge Loam. This is 6 points of damage a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Plus a couple lands left over in hand, so King just setting this up for a 2-turn clock.
Pretty much.
Assuming he can generate enough red.
He's got 2 Moxes and a Taiga. So that means that Kyle Finken actually needs to do stuff now. A card that we didn't think would play a huge role in things in Molten Vortex actually does matter. Because King will play a Wasteland. See, he's going to separate his mana a little bit here. And that means that a 2020 might just be too slow. I guess he's at 13. But he does have extra lands in hand, like you mentioned. So maybe 6 this turn, 8 next turn, depending on how things look.
Yeah, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 red sources of red mana.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not the bottleneck.
Might be time for perhaps a crop rotation. Thinking going to play a Ghost Quarter. Pass that turn back. Turbo Depths ain't so turbo-y here.
No, this has been quite slow.
Punishing Fire among the cards that have been placed into the graveyard via the Dredge from Life from the Loam. Looks like Wasteland's going to go after something here. Going to go after the Tap Thespian stage. And now here's Loam getting back Dark Depths, Wooded Foothills, and a Wasteland. We got some updates on the scoreboard. You can see them at home. Jonathan Rosum wins game number 1 here over Michael Cortez. Humans up a game over Band Company. And you got Mardu Vehicles in the hands of Julian John up a game over Andres Campion, playing Green Black Constrictor. We thought this would be the fast one.
Yep.
Whoopsies.
Picked the wrong match. Picked the wrong winners.
Yep. Well, you know, it's
all in a daze.
It's our first time doing this, right? So, you know, actually it's year 6. You think we'd get it down by now, but Magic continues to be a little bit unpredictable. Wasteland, gonna take care of Thespian stage. Kevin King must know something about this matchup that we don't, because he seems to have a game plan here.
Well, my question is, what is Finken's workaround to a Caracas game 1 if he is not needling it?
It's a really good question, because I'm not sure.
So I was a little bit surprised to see the early needle go on a Ghost Quarter, because I think that if you need to, I think the answers that I'm most interested in are answering Caracas and then actually hitting Thespian stage, because it's much harder for King to combo out with Thespian stage out of the equation than it is for Finken.
Dark Depths has been played by Finken. He'll pass the turn back, and Kevin King, I think, is going to say, I will copy your Dark Depths and threaten to make a 20-20 with my Thespian stage. And I think we are going to see Finken use a crop rotation.
So assume he gets his own Thespian stage here.
Uh-huh. And so now...
And King knows the drill.
And he said, okay, you get a 20-20, fine. Doesn't appear to mind all that much, honestly. Okay. Fair enough. Molten Vortex, not going to activate that, actually. Going to cycle Tranquil Thicket. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's on the hunt for Caracas or some other answer.
Make a 20-20 of his own.
Right.
He's got a stage on the battlefield, and I think he has, I mean, he's got depths at least. Yeah, he's got one in his hand. So there is depths. All right, he'll pass a turn back. Curious to see. Finken actually has crop rotation, and this could be interesting. Let's take a look at the graveyard really quick here.
So Merit Lage is a black token, correct?
Yes.
So Sarigi Step is...
Yes.
does get it done here.
Yes, it does. The old Sajiri Step, if he has crop rotation in his hand, which he does, he's going to play a Dark Depths. Attack you for 20. Going to copy Dark Depths. Okay. I will play this is amazing. I will play crop rotation. Let's get Sajiri Step ready. SCGDFW.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
As that thing is going to get protection from
that
black.
Was a bizarre game.
That was Slow Depths.
Slow Depths.
Slow Depths wins game number 1 over lands. That was a weird game. Like a really weird game. As Kyle Finken wins game number 1 here over Kevin King. I thought King had the driver's seat there. Yeah. I thought he was going to Molten Vortex him out, and he didn't. And I don't know. That's going to be a weird game to go back and watch. But we know who the winner is. It's Kyle Finken. You see the other scores there. Rosum up 1, Julian John up 1. And we prepare for game number 2 here between King and Finken in just a moment. But first, a quick word from our sponsors. We are back in what we thought was going to be a fast match between Kevin King and Kyle Finken, but it turns out they're the slow one of the bunch, as Finken took his time with his Turbo Depths deck to set up a win with a 2020 Avatar token and Sajiri Step. Kevin King will be on the play here for game number 2, so we'll start with him and his 4 Sphere of Resistance, 2 Crows and Grip, 2 Tireless Tracker, 2 Warping Whale, 2 Surgical Extraction, a Trinisphere, a Song of the Dryads, and an Ancient Tomb, Patrick.
I'm guessing Songs of the Dryad and the 2 copies of Surgical Extraction here. Just some interaction.
Yeah, Surgical should be pretty good in this matchup. Spheres, Spheres I guess are just for combo decks, right? That's basically it.
Some spell-heavy decks that aren't necessarily combo decks, like Burn, but I don't think you can really bring it in here. And Finken's got, you know, Elvish Spirit Guides and Lotus Petals. He can power through that kind of stuff. And he doesn't need a lot of mana to do his thing either.
3 Abrupt Decays, 2 Ground Seals, 2 Sphere Resistance, along with a Dryad Arbor, a Glacial Chasm, a Caracas, a Crows and Grip, a Massacre, Runionap Excavator, interesting little one-of there in the sideboard, along with a Toxic Deluge, and not a place you typically find Wasteland, but there's even one of those hiding out in the sideboard. Yeah,
I'm guessing it's pretty light sideboarding here. The Caracas and the Wasteland are what I would want. I don't think I would go to anything else.
Well, those are the options there for both players. As Kyle Finken and Kevin King get ready here for game number 2. We got Jonathan Rosum, Michael Cortez there in game 2. Rosum currently up a game with humans. Seems like he never loses to anyone with that gosh darn deck. I think it's Band Company. And you've got Julian John with Mardu Vehicles up a game over Andres Campion playing green-black Constrictor. Keep in mind, we've got a metagame breakdown for you at StarCityGames.com on our coverage page. You're going to have Chaz Andres, our financial writer, giving you a breakdown financially of this weekend on the premium side of Star City Games tomorrow. And then the Hall of Famer, the innovator himself, Patrick Chapin, going to break down Standard for you tomorrow on the premium side of Star City Games as well. So be sure to check those articles out tomorrow. I only know those are coming because I'm going to go back to the room and read them in about an hour. And get us ready, baby. And maybe even another Fact or Fiction for you over there. You're the Fact or Fiction slayer.
I don't know what that means.
Every opponent you destroy.
All right, let's unpack that. The idea that the validity of opinions is subject to some sort of democratic vote from strangers strikes me as foolish.
All I can do is go by what the polls tell me.
Yeah,
That's all That's all I can do. The polls on the article tell me who won.
Yes.
I lost to you on Friday.
Right. My sense of democracy in that framework is that I solicit people's opinions on things, and then everyone gets a vote.
Yes.
And then everyone's vote is worth somewhere between 0 and infinity votes, depending on how well I know them and how much I trust their opinion.
Okay, gotcha.
So
I was a little confused. I understand now.
do I appreciate the fact that I'm X and O and will be in perpetuity? Sure. I'm not saying that's nothing. That's an okay feeling. But I really question the idea of having people express opinions or thoughts or predictions, and then we determine who's right without even seeing the future. We don't go back and look, right?
That's why would we do that?
We don't go back and look. We just declare on the spot, without the information of the events we're actually discussing, who was right, based on what? Some mixture of well-spokenness and popularity and adhering to the thoughts you had before reading the article. I'm guessing that's how most people vote. But I will write all those columns.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we've come full circle.
I will not stop
Good.
writing those columns.
That's good.
It's fine.
That's good.
But
You're willing to take a blow
right.
and continue to just destroy people in fact or fiction.
Yeah.
I understand. That's
I
good.
don't like the idea of destroying people in a debate.
I don't make up the rules. Like I said, I go by the polls.
Just having a conversation.
Nah. Pure destruction.
Hoping for each of us to enlighten the other, or maybe meet somewhere in the middle, not necessarily, or at least consider other lines of thought.
Okay. Exploration is where we're going to begin.
But as long as the check clears, so to speak,
this again,
I will continue to write all the ones you want to send to me. I will write.
Okay. Maybe we'll write one tonight in the hotel room, so I know what you're saying and I can counteract it.
I don't bring my computer on the road.
You can use mine. Got him.
That's not true. You've got a million articles to edit, apparently.
Here's a Lotus pedal.
And so much, social media engagement.
You know me.
Oh, there it is.
What is that, the Safekeeper? There's Tireless Tracker. I had a feeling you might bring that in. Sylvan Safekeeper, everybody. Been a minute since we've seen that
one. A much maligned invitational card.
I like that card. And that card is responsible for my first Grand Prix cash.
Oh, snap.
Crop rotation. Nice try with the Wasteland.
Yeah.
What is this going to be? Thespian stage. Okay, Wasteland that too.
Okay.
Seems like Kevin's turns are always awesome. It really does.
Yes. But he really needs Loam to get some going here.
It's true.
And there it is.
Okay.
Probably. Not for sure.
Most likely. A gamble for life from Zilom. Crop Rotation is one of my favorite cards. Actually, these decks have some of my favorite cards. Gamble's a favorite of mine.
Beloved.
I love Crop Rotation. I always loved Exploration because I wanted them a lot when I was young, and I just didn't have the money to get them.
Yeah, they were
like $20 or something.
Ursa Saga has a lot of designs in them that are. There's an interesting combo of absolutely busted and also appealing to more casual players. It's hard to do that.
Yeah.
Necropotence voted worst card in the set by Inquest when it came out.
Okay.
By the way, just to give you some, more ideas about the idea of voting on who's right. Voted worst card in the set. Not an attractive design. Very powerful, but hard to sort of make sense of if you're not a super invested player. But Gamble, Crop Rotation, guy is Cradle.
Love that card too. Oof, Safekeeper in.
I'm not saying you're supposed to do all these designs, but it is interesting how many of them resonated even with a more casual audience.
We got a Loam here from Kevin King. We do. Might be a Wasteland lock here, maybe? There's our Sylvan Safekeeper, Human Wizard. 1 single green mana for a 1/1 sacrifice land. Target creature you control
What
gains
set
Shroud.
did this get reprinted in?
It looks like a Commander set to me. Commander 14, 2014.
Okay.
I can see the bottom left logo because I got great eyes. In for 1. Doesn't look like Ali Rod anymore. Unless he's got great hair.
The photos of him that I recall from Magic coverage, he at various times had, I think, pretty long hair and also had a shaved head.
He was bald. Yeah, I remember him being bald.
But I don't know for sure.
That's okay.
Nowadays, don't really keep up with. Okay, game 3 will be starting in a moment.
You think we're all set?
Well, Finken does have a Mons Goblin Raiders.
Good card.
Squaring off against a lot of material. And Finken's got to decide, do I play a land? Maybe I don't.
Play Dark Depths. Well, Jonathan Rosum won his match because he literally never loses.
Oh, no.
So,
his run with this deck.
Yeah, he does not lose with humans. This is what happens when you put a lot of time in. He knows how to play all the matchups. Won his match 2-0 over Man Company. Easy breezy. Now here's Life in the Loam. There's a Wasteland. Another clue. Another clue. 3 of them from the tracker. Here come the beatdowns. No good blocks there. Yeah, we might have the old lock here.
It never ceases to amaze me, and it speaks to how much people really enjoy the format.
Yep.
People's unwillingness to concede games of Legacy. They just keep going. They just don't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. 4th clue, by the way, for the tracker.
But Battlefield's looking pretty bad for me right now. But maybe I'll check out his hand. Maybe I'll poke a hole in that.
I'll get a look.
Get a look.
See what's going on over there.
Yeah, a little bit of disruption.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just want to know. Here's a crop rotation strategy. See if that resolves. Okay. What's this going to get? That's being staged. 5th clue. See you later, Gamble.
Another Wastelands. Pretty bad news.
I like it. Good attack.
Keep trucking in.
Good attack.
Only got to hold out for 14 more turns.
It's a good attack.
It does speak to how much people love Legacy.
It's true.
That they just soldier on.
Tracker will get a counter as Kevin King sacrifices a clue. He'll now dredge Loam. Tranquil Thicket, Mox Diamond, Gamble into the graveyard. Life from the Loam, picking up a thicket, a forest, a misty rainforest. Those will go to the hand. Play a forest, play those, get 2 clues. Blow up your Urborg, thanks. Sacrifice it, save myself and Safekeeper. Good play by Kyle.
Good operations.
Good attack here by Kevin.
Can't kill it.
Yep. Go back over to Kyle.
This card that requires me to sacrifice lands I don't have to protect creatures I don't have.
Correct.
But still on top of it.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's it. Gonna pick up my 1 permanent, and we'll call it on this one. As Kevin King's going to win this game over Kyle Finken. Land, Turbo Depths, going to get ready here for the 3rd and final one. Now, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. So we're going to take a break really quick to hear from our sponsors. But while we're gone, I will bet anything Julian John wins. He will win. Not in. Stop. Stop. He will win while we're
Words
in our
matter.
break. Words, they do matter.
Words matter.
Like these words. See you in a minute. more time, shall we? He didn't win, did he? It's a good thing I didn't make a bet. That was close.
Yeah.
That was close.
I mean, Rosum looks engaged enough here. Game 3. Not only is it over.
They're going to G3.
Yeah.
Perfect. Jonathan Rosum won his match already. Kevin King, Kyle Finken getting ready for their third and final game. And, of course, Julian John and Andres Campion will do the same thing.
I thought this one was supposed to be over soon.
Yeah, this is supposed to be the fast match.
And this is just grinding.
Yeah.
Turn 7 combo in game number 1 and then overwhelmed by Tireless Tracker in game number 2.
Yeah, it's really something, isn't it? It really is something. Tireless Tracker beatdowns. Don't see that every day. Don't forget, folks, next weekend, we're going to be in Philadelphia. Not you and I.
Yeah.
We won't be in Philadelphia, but the SCG Tour will be. As we prepare for our next Team Constructed Open, which would be pretty sweet. Looking forward to that. Matthias Hunt, Ryan Overturf, first time in the booth 2018. Looking forward to seeing those guys. Rooting for the Minnesota Vikings, by the way, for our Minnesota natives. Skull, is that what they say?
I don't know.
S-K-O-L, Skull. I don't know what that means. That's something that Vikings do.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Chase Keenum. The rest of those guys in the purple.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means either.
I believe it's a brand of chewing tobacco, which doesn't sound right to me. It must be an acronym for something.
It must mean something besides that. So I'm going to assume that's a noise that a Viking makes. Maybe it's the type of hat they wear. Not sure. But I see a lot of Skull hashtags. So yeah, Skull, S-K-O-L.
Yeah,
Go Vikings.
My only frame of reference is the professional wrestler, the Berserker, who was supposed to be.
He was a Viking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. That's all that's my frame of reference.
Okay.
And he was an actor. He wasn't really a Viking.
Are you sure
well,
about that?
Actually, I don't
Are you sure
know.
he could have been a Viking?
I actually don't know.
He could have been a Viking. You don't know that.
I'm sure.
You don't know. I'm sure Google knows, but I'm pretty sure he was a Viking. Looks like Kevin's going to take a mulligan here. Kyle happy with his hand. We need someone to beat those dastardly Patriots, and it sure isn't going to be the Eagles. That's for sure. Nicholas Foles.
And also, who really wins in that Super Bowl?
That's true. That's an all-loser Super Bowl. Oh boy. Ground seal on turn 1. Okay. Pass the turn back. I'm going to go over to Kevin King. Exploration. Via Taiga. And via a Verdant Catacombs from Kevin King. Ground seal from Odyssey?
Yes.
Yeah, still got it. Play a Wasteland, pass the turn back. There it is. And there's a battlefield, draw a card. Cards and graveyards can't be the target of spells or abilities.
So it shuts off Surgical Extraction for the other side and also prevents Loam from King's side.
2 Thespian stages there from Kevin King. Remember, Kevin King has lost in the finals 4 times on the SCG Tour. He wants that trophy. Raining up Excavator. That's a 1-of in the sideboard. What do we have now? We have a crop rotation, floating mana. Are we just making? Are we 2020ing?
I think so.
Are we 2020ing right now?
Sure.
Is that game? We have a mana floating. Is that game? That might be game. He's a 20. Slaughter Pack's not going to do it. For many reasons, it's not in his deck as one of them.
This is the game we signed up for right here.
Who's the Turbo Death player now? Draw. Attack. That's game! Kevin King, Jonathan Rosum, and Julian John win this tournament. They are your champions here in Dallas. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, congratulations.